You know what the most awkward part of a stream is from my point of view? It's the going live and the ending, because I think you always kind of got to look off to the side to start everything. But here we go. Gutengardening, everybody. Welcome in the chat. If you are here, if you are watching, if you are in the chat, let us know where you're from. I'm seeing lots of people here from all over, from what I've seen so far, which is fantastic. We got some folks from California, the California-Oregon border, Upper Michigan, Pennsylvania. And one of the things that maybe is a little disappointing from time to time is that I get some really fantastic chats happening. And a lot of times, I don't know if it's just me, but when I'm doing giveaways and trivia and all that, I think I miss a lot. And I'm going to do my best tonight to pay very close attention to the chat. And that's because tonight is not about us. It's not so much about gutengardening as it is about all of you. I'm trying to find the center point. Yeah, there you go. It's about all of you in the chat this evening. We got some from southern Wisconsin, Arizona, the Sierra Nevada mountains of California, Maryland. We are all Spokane, Washington. We are all over Rhode Island. Wow. Well, as you know, first and foremost, this is a bit of an impromptu. It's not impromptu. I've actually known that this was coming, this giveaway tonight, and this conversation was coming for a little while now, but I wasn't sure the best way to do it. And it dawned on me that there's been something that we've wanted to do for quite some time, and that is to find a way to showcase, well, here, I'll put it up on the screen, to showcase our community's gardens. And when I say communities, I'm talking about all the different communities out there that make up the gutengardening community. And you can see it in the chat right now. We've got people from North Carolina, Rhode Island, over 30 people here watching right now. And hopefully that number continues to climb as the evening goes on. By the way, if you haven't already signed up for the giveaway, at the very top, there should be a starred comment there. I'll pull it up. It's a link to the form for the giveaway. I'll put that up here right now so you can see that. But the point I was trying to get across is that this is about you, and we were thinking about how we could find a way to show off some of our community's gardens, because I'm sure not everybody has the time or the inclination. Maybe that's a better term. Not everybody has the inclination to put together YouTube videos on a regular basis or record everything. But I think a lot of times what happens is that we can take a picture here or there, and then we have those pictures. And what do we do with them? Of course, there's some pride involved there where we enjoy the fact that we've taken them. But how many times do other people get to see them? And Sabby says, I'm so glad you're doing this. And I'm so glad that people were willing, when I emailed out today, to send me photos. And you as a community did not disappoint. You did not disappoint. And for those of you that were with us on our last giveaway, it's possible that this comment is going to make perfect sense to you. And that's all I'm going to say about this lovely comment from Sparks. Because you do need to be in the live stream to win. I'm going to go ahead and get started showcasing the community here. And the way I've set this up, if you sent me photos throughout the day today, and again, I really appreciate you coming through with that. If you sent me photos, I've put them into a presentation of sorts. I've put your first name. I didn't want to put too much identifying information, of course, and your grow zone if I had it. And then you shared them with me. Now everybody here gets to see them. Now, if you shared photos with me and you're in the chat tonight, we would love for you to claim some of these photos so other people know that you're the one that sent them. And I'll also say that I don't necessarily know what each and every single variety of every single vegetable is that you sent to me. And so you can make some, maybe clarify some things just to make sure we know, especially if somebody can say, oh, I really love this. What is it? What is it? And you can pass on some of that knowledge. There's a lot of creativity. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start showing you without talking any further. And, well, let's start with Patrice. Patrice is in zone 7A, which is Southern Indiana. And we're starting off strong with a couple of our favorites. Hey, and if you didn't, hey, before I continue on about Patrice, I just saw this. I forgot about sending a picture. I was too busy keeping the squirrels, chipmunks out of the... Okay, if you didn't send pictures before this live and I don't have time to go back and add some more, you can still send us photos. That's not a problem whatsoever, because if you like this format, this might be something that we do again in the future. And I'm actually going to post our email address. It's very simple, gutengardening@gmail.com. I'm going to post that in the chat right now. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and email us, and maybe we'll do this again sometime. I think you're going to like this. But Patrice, you've got cucumbers, which I actually said in a recent video, we didn't grow as many of this year. And to be honest, I'm missing the taste quite a bit. That's absolutely beautiful. Patrice is, I want to believe. So if you have any questions for Patrice, you would message I want to believe. I know that this on the left is a brassica, and I'm trying to determine if it's a kohlrabi or a cabbage. So I want to believe. Can you let me know, the picture on the left there, which of the brassicas we've got? This is absolutely beautiful. I said this the other day, but I do miss the fact that we didn't grow as many cucumbers this year. Now, this is also Patrice. So I've grouped these by people, but you know I'm a huge fan of these tomatoes. And one of the beautiful things about tomatoes is, even if you harvest them early, it's actually pretty straightforward, a pretty straightforward way to ripen them up. I don't know what you do, if you prefer to just eat them while they're green, because I like some good fried green tomatoes. Oh, it's coloreds. Okay, color greens. Okay, that makes sense. But I don't know if you like to ripen them up in a box or if you like to eat them green. What are your thoughts, chat? Because we're going to see a little bit of, we're going to see a good amount of tomatoes tonight, all different kinds, all different varieties. They're absolutely fantastic. And I agree with JST Country Girl. These are beautiful. There's nothing quite like holding a ripe tomato. And a lot of times I think we actually lose patience with our tomatoes, especially when they're on the vine. I mean, certainly if a frost is coming, but we do that quite a bit, I think, and that can be problematic. Hey, by the way, it looks like we just got a new YouTube member. If you want to join, if you want to be a member, I'm going to put a link for joining our channel as a member. I'll put that in the chat as well. That helps us out a lot, and you can look into what that looks like, what that entails. But what we like to do is, as we get members on board, we like to be able to shout them out in some of our videos. That helps us out a ton. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And here's a link if you're interested in joining our channel. I've just posted that in the chat. I saw people say they ripen them in paper bags with bananas. I see that you ripen them in the window because the squirrels and raccoons will eat them green. I get that so much. We are fortunate, and actually you're going to see one of the little critters that comes in and eats tomatoes that we've dealt with a little bit in the past. I think you can probably guess what that is, but we're fortunate we don't have so many squirrels messing with them, but the raccoons will go crazy with them. They absolutely will. There's no doubt about that. I believe we have one more photo here, and you can't go wrong with these tomatoes. And if I don't thank you for sharing on the screen like I just did here, it's because the photos didn't exactly align. I tried to make these as nice as possible. I really wanted to show off what you have here. I wanted to show off the amazing photos that you sent to the best of my ability. By the way, I am going to mention one more time that there is the link for the giveaway. If you haven't already done so, there is a link for the giveaway in the description of this video. Oh, sorry, in the description at the top of this chat. I'm so used to saying in the description of this video. I'm going to post it again right now, just in case you can't scroll up or you don't see it, just in case there's anybody here who's not in the giveaway already. Let's see what we got here. My granddaughter and my great niece come out and take anything that has any color and eat them. I picked some cherry tomatoes yesterday, and my granddaughter told me that she needs them in her mouth. I think your granddaughter and I have an affinity for garden candy. That's just it. When I get out there in the garden, if I see a cherry tomato in any harvest, you know I'm going to be eating some of those. So thank you so much for sharing. That was absolutely fantastic. Do me a favor and congratulate I Want to Believe. You see I Want to Believe in the chat. Congratulate I Want to Believe for that wonderful bit of harvest. And I'm sure there's much more that could be shown, but I think this is absolutely fabulous. And by the way, the giveaway link, those of you who are continuing to enter, don't worry. The names keep adding and adding and adding as we go through. So you don't have to worry about that one bit. I'll show you all that when we get to the giveaway. All right, next up is Linda. Linda, if you are here, let us know. Linda in Zone 9B in Northern California. And Linda sent one picture, and you can see it in the background of this slide. But there you are. There's Linda. You can see it in the background of this slide. But of course, I'm going to show you this in all its glory. I think you're going to absolutely love this picture. Take a look at the variety, at the beauty. Linda, are those the black cherry tomatoes, the darker purple ones? They are stunning. I mean, I'm seeing so much variety here. Heirlooms. I see what look like to me, I'm not sure, but Amish paste, I think. I mean, this is a smorgasbord. Tell me you couldn't sit down and just eat about half of that. Oh, it's chocolate. Okay, Linda, I wonder. It didn't look quite as dark as I would have expected for the other one. That's beautiful. Those are the chocolate. You see the coloration of the darker ones there? It's so pretty. Linda, that is fantastic. So I think some folks might have been, I don't know. I don't want to say, I had one person say, I couldn't pick one. I sent 3 photos, or it didn't matter. Whatever you sent me is fabulous. And Linda is a perfect example. I got one photo, and it's one of my favorite photos out of all of this. So let's congratulate. You know what? I like this. Holy tomato. That's beautiful. Let's congratulate Linda on some absolutely stunning tomatoes that she sent our way. I only wish I had the real thing in front of me right now. Hey, if you're enjoying talking about your gardens, seeing the pictures from our community here, hit a like on this video. We'd love to have more people. We're almost to 50 people watching this eye-pleasing and mouth-watering content here. So congratulations, Linda. That's absolutely beautiful. Well done. Well done. And next up, we have Jen, Zone 10B, Southern California. And Jen also sent one picture, but I zoomed in. So this is the picture, but I zoomed in on the next screen so you could see exactly what it is. And you can tell me if you recognize these beauties. Can you see them? Can you see them ripening up on here, just taking off? If you know what this is, leave a comment right now. Let me know if you know what this is. This is absolutely beautiful. And Jen, make sure, I don't know if you claimed it or not. If you're here in the chat, let us know that you're here. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I see people posting right now. It is tomatillos, and they are looking fantastic. I got to tell you, I love the taste of tomatillos. I've never grown them. Well, not intentionally. I had some volunteer, but I've never grown them before. And I want to do that. I want that experience for sure. But don't these look fantastic? I tell you what, all it takes is a plant to take off, one good plant to take off, and it feels like everything is different, especially if it's something you absolutely love. And my understanding is they're not overly difficult to grow. But as I said, I've not grown them. I do believe that they, like I said, the ones that I had volunteered, they came back at the community garden actually. So we were growing all of our other vegetables, and suddenly I see something in the middle of everything, and that's what it was. Oni says, it's easy to grow. You need two. Okay. And that's exactly what's here. You got two plants. Well, I think if I could zoom in a little bit closer. Oh, I think I missed the comment here. I thought the plant would look more like tomatoes. If I could zoom in a little bit closer, once this is peeled back, that's exactly what you're seeing. That's what you would see. It would look more like tomatoes. I really like them. Great flavor. No, not hard to grow at all. Do not eat ground cherries until they fall to the ground, hence the name ground cherries. I tell you what, isn't it nice to hear all these folks from all over with all different experiences who are sitting here telling you their experiences? Look at this. Tomatillos grow great in pots, plant once, and they come back year after year, or they're on their own, even in zone 4. Well, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? Because zone 4 is not exactly the warmest of zones at all. So look at that. You all are here in the chat, able to share this information. We're up to over 50 people in the live stream right now. Now, that's interesting. We have 57 people in the live stream, and so far only 53 people have entered the giveaway. And so I'm going to copy that link, and I'm going to paste it in the chat again, so as many people as possible can get in here. All right, this is fantastic. Well done. Thank you so much for sharing that photo. Now let's take a look at Valerie in zone 7B, Pennsylvania. Not exactly my old stomping ground, but an area that I lived within a couple of hours of years ago. And what we've got here are some absolutely stunning flowers. And in particular, Valerie shared with me in this email that this zinnia was grown from seed all the way to this point. And this is what I meant when I talked about this earlier. When you have a beautiful flower, when you have anything that you can grow from seed and take it all the way to blooming, and when you understand that flowers like this, that are great pollinator attractors, are so important in the garden, that is definitely a wonderful accomplishment. So Valerie, if you're here in the chat, please, yep, I see you. I see you right there. There's Valerie. I'm incredibly proud of this flower. I'm incredibly proud of the fact that there's that ability that we have to get going, get something going, started from seed, moving to this point, and then we know we've accomplished something. It's like the first time I ever grew a sweet potato, like a full-size sweet potato, and harvested it. I can't explain the feeling of that. It was something about that experience that was just, and what's interesting too is someone commented that they were growing, well, you'll see some of their photos a little bit later, but that they were trying to grow carrots. And it seemed like for a month, nothing was happening. Then all of a sudden there were carrots. I mean, that's one of the things that happens. Sometimes we struggle a little bit. My first year adding flowers, struggled a bit, but delighted with every bloom. That's it. And, you know, once you start placing a little bit more importance on flowers in the garden, the thing that happens from that point forward is that you're attracting more pollinators in, and you're just, I mean, it's really making a healthier, making for a healthier crop overall. Deb says, I'm so mad at myself for not sending pictures. Please do this again. I tell you what, I will. I want to give everybody a chance, and here I'm gonna put my email in there one more time. I mean, it's not like I gave you all much warning either, but I want to give you a chance to show this off. You can see my garden every single day on YouTube. You don't often get to see each other. So Valerie, thank you so much for sharing with us. And it wasn't a video, a Sea Garden Gal. It wasn't a video. I emailed out today, and I posted I put a post, I guess, on our YouTube channel. So again, I'll try to do this a little bit more in the future. Absolutely. MMD says, I learned the value of flowers in the garden this year, planting seeds like crazy now, also getting cuttings from friends and neighbors. That's a great tip. MMD, that's a fantastic tip. If you got somebody who has cuttings somebody nearby who can share some of what they already have with you, that's fantastic. And once you get started 1 year, I mean, some things can really, I mean, they're really easy to collect seeds from. Marigolds are a great example of that. And they are so helpful in general in the garden. Absolutely believe that. So congratulations to Valerie. And now we have Crimson. Now, Crimson, if you, I know you're here because I saw you commenting earlier. If you would let us know what grow zone you're in, I did not mark that. Because I didn't get that from you. Unfortunately, I didn't ask that very important question. So I had to reach back out to everybody after they shared photos to say, oh, hey, could I also get your grow zone? Because I like sharing that information. But this picture is the tip of the iceberg. Oh, okay. So Crimson is in Colorado 6A. 6A. And that's so funny because when I think of Colorado, I think of the place in Colorado where I've been, which is Vail. And I think of cold. I think of mountains and cold. So 6A, yeah, beautiful squash, beautiful summer squash, a nice little eggplant here. But again, that's the tip of the iceberg for Crimson. Look at this garden. So we got spoon gourd on the left, which I've never tried, and loofah on the right of the trellis. Now, loofah is something else I've wanted to try, and I want to know who in here has not only grown loofah, but also then harvested it and used it as a loofah. If you've done that, I want to know all about it. This is such an interesting, I guess, is it a gourd? Is it a squash? Such an interesting vegetable to me. I've never grown it, but I know it's absolutely fascinating to look at. I've watched people, even after not having grown it, I've watched people harvest it. I've watched them take the seeds out, that whole process. It's absolutely fascinating. Is Skate Away the Day, you said, I've grown and used loofah in Florida and Hawaii. Is it easier to grow? Is it in warmer areas? Is it easy to grow in cooler areas? I wonder. Loofah is fun to grow and use. I haven't grown it myself, but my father-in-law grew it in Arizona. So we've got a couple of warmer areas, it looks like right now. But how about that? Getting to take loofah sponges home. It's addictive. I believe it. All right, let's keep looking through this. We've got some phenomenal pictures here. You see the squash in the background. One of the things I really like about this is being able to see how people have transformed their entire yards. Hey, Hickorycroft Farm says loofah is not something we've tried to grow yet. Hickorycroft Farm, welcome. It's so great to see you. The last time we saw you, we were up in Canada. How about that? It feels like just yesterday and also a couple of months ago somehow. It's wonderful to see you all. Skate Away Today says, thinks it's a warmer one. I used it for dishes and in the shower. Yeah, and that's why we'd want to try it. I mean, who thinks that a vegetable could be used for that? I mean, that's not the first thing that comes to mind. But yeah, look at how the entirety of the backyard here has been transformed. I like how you've left a little path. That's our goal too. Just leave little paths around. It was a great visit, Hickorycroft Farm. We really love meeting your family. Folks, if you want a great Canadian homestead to take a look at, Hickorycroft Farm, you should check out their channel. They have a couple of other channels as well. They're absolutely fabulous people. Ton of knowledge. Well, we're on a loofah roll here. Yeah, don't leave the seeds in when you take a shower with the loofah. I think that's life advice right there. Yeah, I agree with you. I love seeing everyone's unique trellises. I mean, if you take a look at the raised bed here, I'm going to remove the comment right here. If you take a look at the raised bed here and you can see the netting over top, I'm assuming that means that you probably, I mean, this protection, of course, from pests and stuff like that. But look at how much growth in a small, I mean, it's not a massive garden, and yet there's so much happening in there. I mean, it really, in many ways, reminds us of ours in that way. Look at the beautiful flowers interspersed. This is, I mean, just beautiful, stunning. And then, of course, we come down to harvest, and this looks like a thumbnail that you would have. I mean, it's so beautiful. let's. Oh, okay. Crimson says they have a really bad squirrel problem, and that's where that comes. I get it. I get it. I think other people can sit here and feel the same way that they're if they're dealing with squirrels. Ours are the voles, as you know. But doesn't this look like a thumbnail? I mean, this is what you're pulling out of your garden. Look at the variety of carrots. Looks like squash in there. Delicious peppers, eggplant, tomato. This is beautiful. Let's congratulate Crimson on this one. Crimson, I am impressed, and I think this is wonderful. I also think, and there are a couple of photos that I got tonight that I thought to myself, man, I think they could sell these photos because they're so beautiful. Look at that. I missed the strawberries. Yeah. I did. See, here I am not even reading the description at the bottom. I had read it earlier, but I forgot about the strawberries. That's fantastic. Well done. Well done, Crimson. Yeah, I agree. It looks like it could be on a postcard. It's like an invitation to some place that's maybe it's an invitation to some place that like this their tourism. We grow vegetables here. We grow delicious vegetables here. Well, congratulations. That's fantastic. And now we have Jennifer from Zone 5B, New Hampshire. And Jennifer reached out to me a while back and is somebody who, after a long, we'll call it a hiatus and a long time of not being able to do anything, I think that's a better way, or grow anything, has gone all out as much as I've seen anybody go all out, and had some of the most amazing success of somebody just starting back. And this is Jennifer right here. I think you're going to be impressed. I know I've been impressed following her process and her progress over the season and her willingness to learn. You can see what we've got here on the left. You obviously know that I'm going to enjoy this. There's some sweet potatoes. Yeah, this is these pictures are not necessarily from right now. They're from earlier in the season, but you've got the sweet potato slips starting out, which is absolutely fantastic. And take a look at what we've got going on here with the setup. We got grow bags, a lot of different sizes. We've got a nice raised bed here. These are from two very different times in the season. On the left-hand side is toward the beginning or earlier in the season. On the right-hand side, you can see it's actually a recent photo where we've got you're going to see the Brussels sprouts here in a second, and then some spinach down below coming in really nicely. Oh, man, I tell you what. Well, let's just keep going. You'll see. Look at some of the harvests here. Look at these pictures. So in the middle, we've got a delicious sandwich with some wonderful greens, some tomato from the garden. And look at those tomatoes on the left. The peppers, the variety here. Sometimes I think we get a little frustrated by what we have space to grow. And then you see something like this and see look on the right-hand side. We've got carrots, beans, tomatoes, squash, Brussels sprouts, all of that growing in a smaller area. And you think that's the end of the video? You think that's the end of the pictures? That's not even close. These are all harvests that she's done this season. And, this is what a sense of pride has to be like. And, I think sometimes there's a reason to be proud of what you've done. And this is definitely one of them. You grew every single one of these. Look at the potatoes. So we have sweet potatoes, not yet. Those should be coming, I think. But potatoes looking massive. These are fantastic potatoes. Unbelievable. And more potatoes. Because who doesn't want more potatoes in their life? You know what I mean? And I like that comment. And there's more. And there's more. And I want that to be very clear. To me, this is inspirational. And I'm not going to ever claim that, our channel does seek to try to inspire people, but I'll never take credit for something like that to say, hey, we inspired this or anything like that. But I will say this. Seeing something like this motivates us for sure. Seeing somebody have this kind of success is just motivating, and being willing to share it. Hey, take a look at this. My students will be harvesting their sweet potatoes next month. That's right. We're going to be coming up before too long, a couple more weeks, and we should be harvesting our sweet potatoes as well. I'm excited. I know our potato harvest escaped the voles this season. I really hope that our sweet potatoes are suffering from the same amazing fate of not having anything bad happen to them. Obviously, I can't tell that. I can't tell that. Yeah, okay. Listen, as a brand new gardener, you should know, again, all of this. I'm going to go back through. I'm going to show you this. All of this that I'm showing you right now, and I hadn't even shown you this photo. This is from a single season's growth, a single season's learning. And, you know, Jennifer has shared some of the things that she wants to work on and try like leeks, improve on growing leeks next season. If you have some tips for growing leeks, some suggestions for some good leek harvesting, let us know in the comments. All right, that would help out a lot. If you have some, we overwintered our leeks this year, and we've got a ton of seeds ready to collect. But what are your suggestions for a good leek? what would work there? Take a look at this. My very first garden. It's amazing. Absolutely. You said, is that a pineapple tomato? That's a great question. Actually, I'm going to let Jennifer reply to that because Jennifer looked it up and figured out what it wasn't supposed to be, this tomato. Not even close to this tomato. So Jennifer, you want to share in the comment what this tomato actually was? Because again, you did the research, you figured it out. And I'll highlight your comment once you post it. But all of this from a single year. Now, I'm pulling this up last. This is the last photo shared with me. Can you see it? If you look really closely, can you see it? When you look closely, oh, this is what we came up with. It looks like it's a hillbilly tomato. Sounds like a good old tomato. All right, what do you see? Diane, you see it. What do you see? It's right there. This little critter. Yeah, this little critter right there. They eat tomato plants so quickly, it becomes absolutely painful. And we've only had to deal with them one season so far. Knock on the desk that's in front of me. But I can tell you for sure, it cleared out the entire top and side of a tomato plant, knocked it off. There were 2 or 3 of them we found in the span of about 4 hours. Those hornworms are awful. So if you get out there and can pick them off, I mean, sometimes you see those pictures online where they get the parasitic wasps that come in and take over. I've seen that too, but that's where I was waiting for somebody to say it. I tell you what, though, the chickens love them. I mean, they love them. And so if you have a whole bunch of them, you can feed them. Yeah, you know, the chickens absolutely love to eat them. They love to eat the tomatoes. It's a circle of life right there. Hey, let's give a congratulations to Jennifer again in the chat right now. That would be the YouTube user. That's who we're looking for right here. The YouTube user. Congratulations. What a fantastic first year of gardening. I really appreciate all that being shared with me. And we're up to Heather. Now, Heather, I don't have grow zone information, but Heather sent me some of the most beautiful pictures of flowers I think I have seen. I mean, we talk about postcards. HT6. This is HT6, and I can see from HT6's little icon there that this is, I think, a theme for you. Look at the bees on your icon, though. Oh, that's beautiful. These are phenomenal. Phenomenal. Take a look at these pictures. Oh, by the way, let me go back here. Do you know what this is? Anybody know what that's called, that tomato, when it does that at the bottom? Let's see if somebody comes up with it in the description. I was looking for alien. Twilight Gardener says it's an alien tomato. It does kind of look like an alien's face. It's a mushroom basket tomato. That's fantastic. And I see a lot of people calling out that it's cat-faced on the bottom. Yeah, that's absolutely right. And the interesting thing about this is it's apparently for this variety how it grows. And I am so surprised by that because I've never seen one that grew like this. Someone says it looks like Elmo. That's fantastic. For cat-facing tomatoes, when the bottom is all disfigured, for most tomatoes, it's I was researching it today, actually. It looks like it's an indication of the weather being a little too cool over an extended period of time as it's developing. But that's so interesting. HD6 says it grows like this. I have never, ever seen this before. That is fantastic. What a wonderful share there. So thank you so much. But that's not the last picture that was sent to us. Take a look at the variety here. We've got our proteins, our fruits, vegetables, everything in this picture is stunning. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing how a photo of fruits and vegetables like this looks so inviting? I'm trying to think of the right word for it. I think inviting and also impressive. I mean, take a look. Take a look at how the eggs. There's just so much here in this one photo. It represents all the other hard work that you've done. And then we see this. Wish I could keep chickens. I'm telling you, it's one of the biggest issues is whether or not we have the ability to eat or the space really for chickens. The fact that you have that is phenomenal. I think that's fantastic. Well done. Just absolutely well done. For those of you that do have chickens, oh, look at this. So Heather she is in town and has chickens and rabbits. That's impressive. That is so cool. Oh, the pepperoncinis. I used to call them pepperoncinis because I thought it sounded funnier. That's beautiful. Well done. Well done. Hey, by the way, we're getting closer to the giveaway. I'm going to post the link once more here, so you can have the link to the form if you haven't. We've got about 70 people in the chat, and not everybody is signed up yet. You can keep 6 where you are. 6 chickens. We can keep 4. No roosters. We can keep 4, but we have to have, in order to keep 4, we would need about 64 square feet of space, which doesn't seem like all that much, but in a yard our size, it's not actually that big. And Hickorycroft, you want to learn a little bit more about raising rabbits and chickens for multiple purposes. They're a great source for that. 100% a great source. Hey, I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying seeing what other people are growing. I wanted to be able to sit back and relax with you all a little bit before we get to the giveaway and just share this. This is so much fun for me. And again, if you didn't share photos with us earlier, we'll do this again sometime in the future. I'm really enjoying this myself. I'm really enjoying just inspecting all this stuff, of course, in a very positive way. All right. You like those pictures of flowers earlier. Natalie, Zone 7B. Oh, well, let me go back and say, we should say congratulations to HT6. Congratulations to HT6. And thank you so much for being here this evening. We really appreciate that. We really do. All right. Let's move to Natalie in Zone 7B. Natalie has some amazing flowers. And I imagine that in the chat, you can start identifying these flowers as we go through. So as soon as you know what the flower is, go ahead and post it. To me, I will tell you Black-Eyed Susans, which is what I'm seeing here from, I believe that's what the first photo is. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong many times, but they're absolutely beautiful. I don't know. I've seen them my whole life growing up, and I absolutely loved them. But take a look at what we've got going through here. Now, if you're in the chat, Natalie, and we get something wrong, or well, first of all, you should claim this for sure because it's amazing. But if we get something wrong, let us know. I won't necessarily guess each one, but I think the one on the left here is a variety of sunflower, I believe. Again, if I'm wrong, let me know. I'm not sure about the variety on the right, but it's absolutely beautiful. Natalie, Natalie's here. Excellent. So Natalie, tell us about the left and the right here. So on the left, looks like a sunflower of sorts to me. And what is the variety on the right? Hey, so this is the beauty. I mean, you can't talk to me directly exactly, but you could chat it directly, which is fantastic. so we can get everything right, or hopefully get everything as close to right as possible. So we've got a dwarf teddy bear sunflower on the left. That's and that's what most people suspected it was. And I've seen these growing around in our area. I think we have a neighbor who really likes to do a lot of native flowers, which is fantastic. And then Natalie actually sent something really cool that I'm going to show you here in a little bit too. Well, you'll see. And pink cosmos that grew over 6 feet tall. See, our chat is so smart. They figured out everything. That's amazing. Nicely done, Crimson. Crimson had it all spot on. Our identifier here. And you'll forgive me. Today is the first day I feel like I'm coming down with a little bit of a cold. I'm trying not to clear my nose or anything, so I'll do my best to avoid that. All right, so we've got look at the sunflower. Look at the beautiful sunflower on the right. I don't know what it is about sunflowers. And somebody said this to me. Yeah, the one on the left looks like a marigold as well. Yep. Someone said earlier in the chat, rather, that they love sunflowers. I saw it. I don't even think I highlighted it. But sunflowers, there's a field about 40 minutes from where we live that they have every year. They have a sunflower field. It is one, for a period of time, it is one of the most beautiful places to visit. I mean, it is undeniably stunning. I think Hickorycroft's talking about this, yeah, that they want to grow marigolds in the garden maybe next year. Yeah, same. We had some that came back, but we didn't really have much this year. We have tons of seeds, though. Yeah, and that sunflower does look like it's winking. You see its eye is partially closed. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, African marigolds, they did look a little unique, like they were a little bit taller than what I was used to. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell from perspective, or tell perspective there. All right. This is what I'm talking about. Look at the size. Okay, I do not know the answer to what this flower is on the left. So you all have to help me out with that. Twilight Gardener asked, marigolds help keep bugs away, correct? Yeah, they definitely are pest deterrents. So that is one of the things that, you know, the roots of the plant in general, they're supposed to deter pests. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of people will grow the marigolds. So that's a great question. The left is a calendula. Okay. You know, see, this shows how much I know. That should be something that I know. It's beautiful. And I'll also say the sunflowers are beautiful. You know how much fun it was for me to take all of these pictures and put them together and lay them out? I can't even tell you. I enjoyed my day. That's what I'll say. I enjoyed my day. And I love this one. I had to, and you'll forgive me, Natalie, but I had to move this around a little bit to try to make the pictures a little bit bigger. This is the Lemon Queen sunflower, a 4-day transformation of a Lemon Queen sunflower that's self-seeded. Look at the difference in 4 days from what looks to be 2 heads all the way up to about a half a dozen heads. I absolutely love this. Well, I'm glad you love it. I had to move it around, otherwise I wouldn't be able to show the pictures big enough in this in the landscape format. Oh, you knocked my computer over. So check that out. How cool is this, huh? It's amazing to me. It's kind of like when you leave your garden for a couple of days even, and you come back and it doesn't even look like the same place you left. You know what I mean? It's like, what happened? How is it possible that you sit there day after day after day and nothing seems to change, and you go away for 3 days and you come back and everything's doubled in size? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is a great example of that. So thank you. That's maybe one of my favorite images because of how it demonstrates that. Let's go ahead and congratulate Natalie in the chat for some amazing photos and for sharing this with us. Absolutely fabulous. And we could tell you have a wonderful love of all these beautiful flowers. This is unbelievable. So congratulations, Natalie. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. That's awesome. That's awesome. What a great community we're a part of. You know what I mean? What a great community. All right. We have Amelia in Zone 5, Wisconsin. Amelia, I happen to actually know Amelia. So there's a couple people. Like we had Hickory Croft Farm that we've met now. And Amelia, I happen to know from years ago, which is fantastic. And Amelia reached out and shared some photos of a Zone 5 Wisconsin garden. So Amelia, if you're in the chat and you want to claim these photos, that'd be fantastic. No, it's not a kitty, and you can't tell, and I was going to blow it up bigger, but there's actually a dog here, and there's a video, but I don't have the video set up in here, of the dog trying to eat the tomatoes that are hanging over the edge, which is absolutely fantastic. And I would agree, it is absolutely adorable if you see it. This is so cool. Amelia, before I hop into your content here, I'm going to pull this comment up. Anne says, Natalie, you inspired me to grow sunflowers next year. Thank you. So Natalie, just in case you didn't see this comment, there you go. See, inspiring other people just by creating some really amazing flowers. So well done. Yeah, that's a great picture. So one of the cool things about the pictures that Amelia sent to me, one of the coolest things about it, in my opinion, is that I got to see a setup that's pretty unique from a gardener who hasn't necessarily been gardening for too long, although I don't actually know the total number of years. And I would say the setup itself is taking advantage, just like a lot of the others that we're seeing, taking advantage of a limited space and looking fantastic. By the way, you see the doggo there again? Yeah, absolutely. Shine your light. Is it too late to plant fall potatoes in Zone 9? So I'm not 100% sure of the answer to this question. Obviously, my grow zone is so different in Zone 5, and it would be too late unless we're trying to bring them indoors for us. So if somebody else is in Zone 9 and can let Shine Your Light 83 know the answer to this question, I'm sure Shine Your Light would really appreciate it. If you're in Zone 9 and you'd still be planting some potatoes, please message. And again, you just at Shine Your Light 83 and they'll be able to see it. All right, look at the beautiful flowers, beautiful tomatoes. We're going to see some more tomatoes here. I like a little grow box here. You see the basil in here. It looks like a few things have gone to seed as well. A nice little herb box here, which is fantastic. Absolutely love it. Everybody deals with or takes care of tomatoes differently. And in the last couple of years, primarily because we've been dealing with some disease and other things, we've had to really prune back our tomatoes. But I'd like sometimes to just get out there and have a massive bush of tomatoes growing everywhere. And just, I don't know, something about it. It's like these healthy plants. Plus, it's garden candy. It's a tomato jungle. Yeah, and I don't mind a tomato jungle every once in a while. You know what I mean? It's just so nice to get in there and see all the tomatoes growing. So I would say that is absolutely fantastic. Hey, Julia, welcome. And welcome off the road. Glad that you could stop in and say hi. Okay, this is interesting. So this year was terrible for disease by us. We got a great harvest, but I got them in way early. I want to tell you something. We went to an apple orchard today. I wanted to take my kids to let them pick some apples, do a couple other things. It was just really nice out. And they said that there was a horrible problem here in Wisconsin this year throughout the state with a lot of disease. And so now I can't think of the name. But most of the varieties, Cortland, other varieties, really struggled. They look ugly. They taste good, but look ugly this year. So I don't know if it has something to do with, I know a lot of people complaining about how wet it was at the beginning of the season. I understand that. A lot of people, we haven't had measurable rainfall. Those of you who are from Wisconsin right now, let us know. When was the last time we had measurable rainfall? I think it's been over a month. At least where we are. It's been so long. And I said that at the beginning of the season. I hope it's not feast and then famine. And that's what it seems to be so much. Yeah, I know. Yeah, a lot of people are having a hard time. Powdery mildew has been all over some of our squash right now. Yeah, we're dealing with it too. It's been an interesting season for sure. And Just Country Girl said the leaf miners are wrecking everything I plant from seed. I tell you what, we've had that problem with our spinach in particular. Our spinach has been what has caused or had to deal with the leaf miners. That's been a bit of an issue for us. So no, is definitely not just you. It is definitely not just you. And the squash bugs, oh my word. Okay, so I've not seen the number of cucumber beetles like I have this year, but the squash bugs, not the vine borers for us, the squash bugs were brutal this year. Fortunately, they came a little bit later, so we had already harvested a ton, especially on our summer squash. But yeah, that has been a real challenge, The one thing that hasn't, Japanese beetles. They didn't. I think I saw 4, 5 of them this year. They didn't touch us. All right, I'm going to keep going through Amelia's photos here. I like the fact that this seems to be or what looks to me on there. But I like how you'd repurpose a shelf there. And of course, I love some raspberries. I absolutely love raspberries. Hey, I did a video where we talked about you squash the squash bugs. You better squash the squash bugs. Yes, that's exactly what we do. We squash them. And sometimes if they're overcoming everything, we just have to take it and get rid of them. I think you're connected. I hope so. Let us know. All right, look at these beautiful pictures. We're going to keep going. So we have so look at the variety here. We had raised beds. We had in-ground. We had now in containers as well. So Amelia's growing all over the place, but take a look at these tomatoes. I gave this a slide all by itself. I'm not 100% sure what variety this is, but tell me these aren't beautiful, beautiful looking tomatoes. I don't know. I'm obsessed with different tomatoes and how they look and how they, I don't know. I mean, my favorite color to eat is yellow. It goes yellow, then orange. But then I see something like this, and I think I want to eat that. Don't you? You can't tell me you don't want to eat those tomatoes, especially when you see them brought inside looking like this. Nice little squash there as well. But you see those tomatoes up there? Look how they look when they're harvested. Might be bumblebee. I was thinking maybe bumblebee. I'm not 100% sure. Somebody said black strawberry. I don't know. Lots of different options here on what they could be. I think they're absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And that's not all the harvests. Look at these beautiful cherry tomatoes, beans, zucchini, a little eggplant here and there. This is somebody also growing in a pretty urban setting, just taking advantage of their yard and coming up with harvests that look like this. Look at the color. Tonight, I made some, as I was making dinner tonight, we had purple. I'm trying to think, purples, reds from the garden, yellow from the garden, just all these different colors straight out of the garden. It was absolutely fantastic. And there's something about the colors that you're able to add that you've grown. Wow, Amelia, this is absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Also, those beans are massive. some massive beans, and we wrap Amelia's up with some beautiful flowers, of course. When you can cut your own flowers, I think that's absolutely delightful. I think that's absolutely stunning. So well done. Absolutely. So let's congratulate Amelia again. I'm not 100% sure if Amelia's in the chat, but let's congratulate Amelia. Oh, that's a great statement here that my mom always says your meals should contain at least 4 colors. Hey, the more the merrier. And besides, it looks so bland when you don't do that, right? So I would agree with you. 100% agree. All right, we are on to Alicia in zone 5B, and we're coming closer to that end of this part and moving on to the giveaway. I hope you're enjoying this conversation. I'm having a blast going through this. Wasn't 100% sure exactly how this would work, but I think this may be one of my favorite lives that I've ever done. So There we go. Isn't this so? Those flowers are stunning. Who knows what the purple one's hanging down? Alicia, Alicia's right here. Alicia's in the chat. Alicia, what are those purple flowers that are hanging down? This is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Is it? That's Love Lies Bleeding in there too? Is that what it is? Again, I should know more about flowers, but I haven't really taken the time. I mean, I know the pollinators that we typically plant, but I haven't really. Yeah, it's Love Lies Bleeding. It's beautiful. It adds another dimension to this. I love it. Again, flowers are such an important part of gardening. Okay, Alicia, this was the background of the very first slide, kind of grayed out a little bit, made more transparent because I liked it so much. This, to me, looks like a gardener's dream. Folks, if you like this comment or like this video, I'm going to sit back. Just let Alicia know if you like this photo. Look at the entrance. Tell me that isn't a garden you would want to spend a ton of time in every single day. It's absolutely stunning. Phoenix has asked a very important question. Can I live there? I mean, it is phenomenal. I love this entrance so much. That's one of the things that I love about our garden too, is the entranceway underneath our grapes. But the way the trellising is set up here, the archway, that's beautiful. Well done. What else can you say about something like that? Well done. And well done. I mean, this is just a few of I'm sure, many things coming out of the garden. And that is so cool. As I said, I'm going to go back real quick. This was my favorite overall photo. And I didn't put you all on a scale and try to say which one was which as far as favorites. But just because I really, really enjoyed that perspective. And those tomatoes look absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much for sharing. If you liked those photos, again, congratulate in the chat. I don't know. It's one of those things where you get ideas from this. Think of what you could do. Think of how this adds to the verticality. Also, I noticed the stick in the middle of the trellis. Is that to help with the weight of everything that's growing on there? I assume so. That's so cool. I imagine that there are different pieces of this that I could use and develop here. And it looks like there's the grow bags there at the entranceway used to grow a lot of those flowers. That's so cool. Yeah, I know. I don't think I'd come out of that garden either. Well done. Absolutely well done. All right. Sabby, I'm pretty sure you're in the chat. Sabby's from Zone 6, Oregon. And Sabby, if you're in the chat, go ahead and say that's me or whatever you'd like to claim these photos. Sabby's been with us for so long as a part of our channel. I say so long. We've been around for about 4 years. And Sabby's been with us for so long. It's actually not a green stalk. This is a different setup. But Sabby could get a green stalk today, maybe. But look at that bok choy. I mean, that has to be, and there's something else in there I couldn't quite tell from the size of the picture. That is stunning bok choy. And I don't see a bit of damage there at all. Like, a lot of times we deal with flea beetles and other things coming in and really wrecking. Look how beautiful. Look at how beautiful this is. And I absolutely love, I'm guessing they're dollar store stackables. I'm guessing that's probably what we've got there. Anne says, we love growing bok choy. The taste is, to me, the taste is so unique when it comes to this kind of leafy green. And we eat it in so many different ways. There's something about it that I absolutely adore. So yeah, bok choy, I'm there for that. And look at the peppers. Some of the coolest peppers. I planted more peppers this year than I have in years past. Some of them didn't do so well this year. We actually put a couple of store-bought peppers in the ground too, store-bought pepper plants. And they were, for the most part, absolutely horrible. Nothing compared to what we've done in the past when we start from seed. So the ones we started from seed are outperforming for sure. But don't these look like some snacks that you'd like to have? I think they're absolutely fabulous. And I agree. Somebody said they look like somebody said they look like candy cane peppers. I agree. They kind of do, right? Like that mixture, that twist of color. Well, on the left, we've got garlic, it seems to me. On the right, we have my hand, and it's not because I've actually met Sabby. That's not the case at all. But Sabby sent us the red rat tail radishes this year, which is the radish that is used for, the seed pods. You're just growing them for the seed pods that were so good. And so I thought, hey, I'm going to add that photo in there, even though that's my hand and that's my place. It's the only picture from my garden in here, because she's responsible for our having that. She's the reason that we got that. She sent those to us as something fun to try. And they weren't just fun. They were delicious. They were very tasty. I agree. The red rat tail, tasty. The seed pods get massive. You definitely have to harvest them before they get tough. Like you don't want to leave them on too long, like they're going to seed. But they are so good. So great to have in the chat. And Viola, welcome. Thank you. Better late than never, right? All right, we are almost through. But we have a couple who came in last second, and Dustin is one of them. Now, Dustin replied to me a little bit late. I couldn't get it into the slideshow, but he's in zone 7A, and these are his AeroGarden peas. Look how healthy they look. You know, the benefit of an AeroGarden is it doesn't really matter what grow zone you're in. You have the ability to keep this growing all year round. Now, I have never grown in an AeroGarden. It's something we've talked about experimenting with. And it's our only person who shared a hydroponics type of growing setup out of everybody here. So that's something I think that would be interesting too. If you're somebody who grows with a hydroponic setup, it could be Kratky, it could be, which is the passive method. It could be something that's an active system. We would love to know more about that. We'd love to get some photos from you. Yeah, I've heard it's fantastic for lettuce. Timothy, I don't know the answer, but Dustin, if you're in the chat, Tim asked if this was a dwarf pea variety. I don't know. These are sweet peas. I know that much, which look really cool. Yep. So that's Nemesis. I believe that would be you, right? That's Dustin. You said they are dwarf. I think they look wonderful. And since peas are some of my favorite vegetables, who am I kidding? I like most vegetables, but peas are some of my favorites. So this is so cool. So if you've tried growing with the AeroGarden, let us know. That's really cool. If you have a Kratky or other hydroponic setup, we'd love to see pictures. That's something that we have only delved into a little bit, but we'd love to do more. And I agree with this. And maybe that's something that we'll do too for a future video or live stream where we'll talk about. I clicked the wrong one. I said Ann. I meant to click Stephanie. Well, Ann, I appreciate your comment too. Stephanie, I'd like to see more pictures of people's indoor gardens. You know, we have an indoor growing space. We'll be spending all of our time there this winter, but I would love to see more of that as well. That's so cool to be able to share. And you said 27 days is where they're at right now. That's so fast. That's awesome. That's absolutely fantastic. All right. Last but not least, and I'm always afraid I'm saying your name wrong. And I want to say that you've told me how to say it before. So if I say it wrong, please correct me. I don't like doing that to people's names. I think it's Oni, but I could be wrong. You're in zone 9B, and I know you're here in the chat, or you were in the chat earlier. If you write it out phonetically, if I'm saying it wrong, let me know. But in Northern California, and here's what was written with this. Our first pumpkin. So this is the first pumpkin. Look at that beauty. Is that potentially flawless? I'm looking at it. I mean, that is flawless and delicious. Who doesn't love a good pumpkin? I'm telling you. Who doesn't love a good pumpkin? That's fantastic. you know what? We don't grow enough pumpkins. We're going to have to grow pumpkins in the future. It's a beautiful pumpkin. Well done. And see who can guess what this is. When the description of this was so fantastic. I don't believe you'll be able to guess what this is. Yeah, it is a sugar pumpkin, Hickory Croft Farm. I don't believe you'll be able to guess what this is. I actually want to read to you exactly so you can see the exact wording here, because the exact wording is fall carrots coming up, trying to squeeze in one more crop before the garlic goes in and ties up the bed until July. So that is not a cover crop. Those are carrots, and I want to believe got it. That's impressive. Crimson knew it. That's fantastic. No, Jen, we're about to do the giveaway. We're really close. We're almost there. That's so cool. But I love that. We're trying to squeeze in one more before it gets too late and we have to put the garlic. That's who doesn't love that? Who absolutely does not love the idea of getting that late harvest to push the limit just a little bit to see how much you can grow? I absolutely think that's fantastic. So well done, well done, well done. All right, folks, before I do the giveaway, first I'm going to pin the comment I just put in the chat. That's the form. If you haven't already filled out the form, I'm going to go ahead and relink the form. We've got 64 respondents so far. I think there are a couple of doubles there. I'm going to go ahead and link everything up over to the sheet again, because sometimes it unlinks and we don't get everybody's name over there. So I'm making sure. So if you're here at the last second and you haven't completed the form, get that form completed really quickly. I'm just looking away from you because I'm taking care of those last things, and then we're going to do our giveaway. Yeah, it just took care of the double. So that's, if you haven't already signed up, we're going to do the giveaway, and I'm going to come right here before we do the giveaway. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to make myself really big here, and I'm going to say one more time, thank you so much to all of you who shared photos with me on such short notice. Thank you so much to every single person who's a part of our community who's here tonight. We got 67 people from what I can see right now, 67 people on the live stream. And right now we're up to 66 people on our wheel. And we're going to do that here in just a little bit. Don't worry. SMC, you didn't fill out the form yet. Go ahead and fill it out. I'll wait for you. I love seeing those photos. I hope you love seeing those photos. I'm inspired. I hope you're inspired. We talked about this in the past, but our goal is to learn as much as we can, teach as much as we learn, and try our best to inspire other people to do the same thing, to grow as much food as we can grow, and reach out as many people as we can reach out to. And right now, we've given some of you who probably have never shared with people outside of your local community an opportunity, I hope, for a bunch of other people from all over the U.S. to see what you're doing. And I know for a fact that it's been good, because I've been seeing all the people here saying how you've inspired them by what you're growing. And that is phenomenal to me. So thank you so much, everybody. I love seeing what everybody else is growing just as much as you did. And I'm not going to keep you in suspense. I promise. I'm not going to keep you in suspense. I'm waiting for the last bit here. We have 67 people. Yep, it's the 67 people in our giveaway. You have to be on the live stream to win. And I should mention that at our giveaway how many days ago was it? I think it was 10 days ago now. Everybody has received either a notice of we've ordered your potatoes and they're shipping out at the appropriate time. For most people, it's in February. Or they've gotten their green stalks already, the 2 that we gave away last time. Or they've gotten their $10 gift cards sent to them. And I got to tell you something. I can't tell you how much that means to us. I appreciate that very much. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to find out who our winner is. When you see you've won, go ahead and say, "It's me." in the comments, and we'll go from there. Are you ready? You can do a drum roll on your own desk. I'm not going to make a whole bunch of noise for you here, but our winner of our green stalk tonight is going to be, well, I'm excited for this. Let's see. Julia Johnson McGee, who I believe I saw in the chat. Congratulations, Julia. If you are here, please go ahead and say, I just won. That is so fantastic. Congratulations. If you see Julia, and before I see, and you say, oh, she's here. Wait, hello? Really? Hello? I'm pretty sure hello really is yes, absolutely. Congratulations, Julia. Thank you all so much for being on our live stream tonight. Listen, I really, really, really need you to do me a favor. If you love the content tonight, first of all, if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. That helps us out a ton. You know how people on YouTube ask that, but we're trying our best to expand as much as possible to our larger community to share this content. Please hit the like button if you didn't already. 2, if you have photos of your garden, or if you haven't been taking photos, but this is something you'd like to share with other people, like get your own content out there, go ahead and email us some photos. I'd love to do another live stream where we do something just like this. So please do that for us. Do those 2 favors. Wow. We appreciate our community. Look at all the congratulations over there. Everybody's happy. Julia, I'm happy for you. Do me a favor, Julia. You can email me at gutengardening@gmail.com. I'm going to send you an email if you don't, but I want to get that information, your information right away so that I can pass it on and get that shipped out to you ASAP. It usually takes a couple of days to ship your way. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being on this live stream. Thank you for being a part of our community. We wish you all the very best. Congratulations to all of you who are gardening and all of you who are inspired tonight. Stay inspired. It's going to be a great rest of the year, okay? Thank you all so much. Best of luck. Good night.